In the lightweight division at UFC 309, you got veteran Jim Miller taking on Damon Jackson. And it's always interesting when Jim Miller fights. You never know what to expect. The guy's 37 and 18, 55 fights as a professional. Damon Jackson, 31 fights, 23 and 7. So two bad dudes locking horns here. Damon Jackson, 3 inches taller at 5'11". He's 36, so still relatively young. Jim Miller's getting up there at 41. Both guys 71-inch reach. Jim Miller fights left-handed or southpaw. Damon Jackson is a switch stance fighter, right? Righty and lefty. Both guys right around 3 significant strikes per minute. Damon Jackson lands like 2 takedowns every 3 rounds. Jim Miller gets like one every other round. So the ground game could be a factor here. Jim Miller, 47% takedown defense, not great. Lost to King Green by decision. But before that, he beat Gabriel Benitez by submission. KO Jesse Butler. So he's still hanging around. But as he gets into tougher fights, it gets more difficult. Now, Damon Jackson, 37% takedown defense. The leech, just terrible. Not good. Lost to Chepe Mariscal by decision. Beat Alexander Hernandez by split decision. Now, Jim Miller lost to him, right? 108 to 67 in significant strikes. But Damon Jackson outpaced him mainly with 3 takedowns, 42 to 32 in significant strikes. So he just stifled Hernandez. He'll be looking to do the same thing against Jim Miller. And this fight's nearly a toss-up. I hate to go against Jim Miller, but Damon Jackson, who does lose fights, is still 5 years younger. He's very capable. He can land takedowns and stifle you that way. It'll be a little tougher because Jim Miller's a bad dude, and he's short, low to the ground at 5'8". But I still think Damon Jackson gets the job done. He doesn't have the reach advantage, but he does have the height advantage. He's punching downward. The takedown game is going to be interesting because both guys have weak takedown defense. You would think Jim Miller might have an advantage where he can get the head on the hip easier because he's shorter. But even with that, I'm still leaning towards Damon Jackson and the youth. I mean, he's 36 and you say youth, but 5 years younger than the 41-year-old Jim Miller. Jim Miller's got to slow down at some point. Hopefully it's here. Damon Jackson gets the win with takedowns and significant strikes, much in the same way he beat Alexander Hernandez to move to 24 and 7 here. One of the best divisions in the UFC, if not the best, lightweight division at UFC 309.